Hello, everyone. So we're
Hello.
back. We're back. This is Boots or Dawn,
Hi, guys.
and I'm actually filling in for Mo. My name is Joe, as you can see my new hair. I thought this was such a funny joke, and I even typed it out and everything. Yes, I got my hair done, and I decided to go wild, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So it is what it is.
Beautiful.
Thank
Beautiful as
you.
always.
Paid a lot of money for it, so hopefully it looks okay. This isn't a box style, I'll tell you that much. So, we wanted to address some of the rumors that were going around. Now, this will be related to not just us, but the Heidi Planck case. Um, we,
It's time. It's
it's
time.
time. So,
Yeah.
after that article came out in the Sun, as you all have read and read again and again and again and again blah, 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 about on all of the channels, all of the Discords, all of the YouTubes, we've been just quietly sharing amongst ourselves the feedback. And we just can't stay silent anymore because I think the longer we stay silent, the more
It's building up.
gravity it gives those rumors. And a lot of it just isn't true. And this is also giving the opportunity for other people, other YouTubers to be sharing information that is wrong, just purely wrong.
Or
Not
shouldn't,
good
yeah.
for
That we've
the
chosen not to share.
investigation.
And they,
The,
yeah,
exactly. So there are things that
not
we
right.
specifically have chosen not to share that others are now spreading far and wide, and we just don't feel like it's it's right. It's a good thing to do. So like
Our
I
channel,
just
we're going to do it the way we do it.
that's right. We're gonna do it the way we want.
And it's going to be
And
the right
really,
way.
like, we tried to lead with kindness and respect, and this
Yeah.
is part of the reason why we've stayed silent. We wanted to avoid looking at the comments altogether. We've shared tears, not just to us, but the other people in our Discord, family members who are involved in our Discord, and family members that we talk to that are related to Heidi. They've had a really hard time with what's been shared, and you know what?
Finding out the truth isn't always
We're
really
sensitive.
easy. Yeah.
We're very sensitive. We take everything to heart, but we're also bulldogs. And we will respond when we need to. And we will do so in a way that isn't attacking, but is defending our truth. Because we know that we're leading with good intentions. And the last thing that we want to do is do this for the wrong reasons and be negatively affecting an investigation. So this shouldn't take long, but we did want to know you guys to know that what we know and help you become aligned and understand exactly where we stand on this. So in the end, you can type in your questions in the chat, or you can stay until the end and join us. I will share the StreamYard dial in. I have some banners here, some brand new banners. Look at that. Didn't realize that since I paid for it, we got to do
So,
this. So fancy.
so fancy. So
It is so
fancy.
fancy.
Mm,
And we do appreciate directness and feedback. We're always looking to improve
absolutely.
the channel, but just do it kindly. Like if you see someone whose hairstyle, like if you don't like my hair, that's fine. You can probably keep it to yourself though. But you can say, "Oh, I wonder what your hair would look like brown," or something
If
like
I'm
that.
drinking something that's
Oh,
a soda,
is that booze? Oh, are you guzzling booze? I
of
don't know.
course.
I don't. You think you just tried to hide? You
That's
must
what
be an
it is in this
alcoholic.
non-advertised can that I actually realized I could just put a tape over it at
But
11 a.m.
you know what? We don't have enough view. We're not
It's
even monetized. Like it's not like
it's
they're
so
gonna pull
ridiculous.
anything away from. In fact, we're helping out Sprite or whoever,
Yeah.
Seven Up, whatever. Okay. Okay. Well, but
No, I
I
put
want to
wine in
talk
the
about
can. Actually, just it
it's
was
it's
box
it's
wine at that.
pure vodka.
I'm just kidding.
Oh man, these things.
Anyway, sorry.
Um, so I did want to just
Rumors.
realign everyone into letting you guys know exactly who we are. Okay, we're not some like we are randos. I will be honest. I've never met John in person. We live nowhere near each other, but we talk every day, and we've become very close over the course of the last I don't know 6 months, maybe even less. But I'll start. So I'm a 30-year-old woman. I live in Vancouver, Canada. I am Canadian. I became interested in helping cases when I looked into the Gabby Petito case. At first, I'll be honest, I looked into the case and I was like, oh, here we go again. Another beautiful white blonde woman who's, gone disappearing, and everyone seems to care. And no one cares about the missing Indigenous women in Canada or elsewhere, or the many, people of color who go missing and murdered. And no one seems to write an article about them or be all over Twitter about them. But then, ironically, the more I started looking into the case, the more interested I got, because it was so complex. And I felt like I could use some of my skills to help with the case. And I actually excelled at this work, and I became addicted to it. I will say it was somewhat of an obsession. Every free moment I got, I was looking up information on this case. And I actually connected with, and this is a feather in my cap, so like let me brag a little bit, but I connected with Dog the Bounty Hunter over this. So I have his personal number. But I will not be sharing it with anyone. But just know that I have texted him before, and yes, I've spoken to him on the phone, and he's exactly like he sounds like on TV, but way less scary. He's like actually such a super nice guy, and he signed off by saying aloha, which I've never actually heard in real life. Cute. Um, so I live with 2 dogs, and I have a full-time job. So squeezing this in means that I essentially work 2 full-time jobs. It's caused me a ton of stress. I actually had to take some time off from this because I was really like, my mental health was suffering, because I was really just trying to do the right thing. And some of the hateful comments we were getting was just getting the best of us. And I know that there are several in our Discord and in our other groups that have also experienced the same thing. And I'll let you speak for yourself. But yeah, it just goes to show that you make a comment and you think that, and I know a lot of YouTubers say this and people on social media, but we read that and we really do take it to heart. Like, we're just doing our best here. And so when you make personal attacks at who we are as people, it really hurts, because we
Kind of like
are
a comment
leading
that
with good
just came up.
intentions.
She didn't mention potato at all, but I don't know what to do sometimes.
Okay.
Um,
Um, so I guess what I did want to say is that we're completely committed to providing like raw information that we find and that people tell us, so that you guys can make your own decisions. So, although that must be frustrating to some people that we're not sticking to a certain theory, and our theories and speculations are always evolving, it's just the way we work. And that's something that I'm committed to as, a person with a research background. So, Dawn, I'll let you kind of introduce yourself, and then we can get into some of the rumors that have been discussed.
okay, hello. I'm going to reintroduce myself real quick. My name is Dawn, and nickname Boots, and I got that name. I didn't give it to myself. I was given that name at the beginning, actually, of the Heidi Planck disappearance. I live in Southern California, and I guess I'll say it. I'm 50 years old, and I play a lot of pickleball, and I'm pretty active. So I originally started by going down to the actual site in downtown LA. And long story short, that's how I got my name. I've been a paralegal for 21 years. I have 4 children who are all grown. I am married to an amazing man who has 2 of his. So we have 6 between us. So it's busy. They're all adults, though, and they're very proud of the work we're doing. I also work part-time as a crisis counselor for, and I can say it, an organization called Crisis Text Line, which is an amazing organization. And thank you. We now have our scrolling banner at the bottom. If anybody is ever in distress or feels like they need to talk or needs resources, it's all by text, and it's amazing. Let's see. I in my free time, I love to brief cases. It's something I enjoy doing. I love
Thank
reading case
goodness.
law.
I'm so bad at that.
Yeah, it's an obsession, and investigating true crime cases. This case really became close to my heart because not only am I semi-local to it, but I became close with somebody that is very, very close with Heidi, and developed a bond with her. And all of this has really hurt that, and that's very upsetting as well. But anyway, Mo and I met through a true crime discussion board, and immediately connected because we both saw each other's passion, and we handled the way we investigated cases the same way. And we're both very honest and very, what's the word I'm looking for? We both have a great desire to bring answers to the family and friends. And that really what is something that I'm passionate about. I know Mo is passionate about, and we work well together. I am not the greatest public speaker. So she does a lot of that, and she's great at that. I'm more of the dork brains, like nerd in the books. But anyway, I absolutely adore what we do. I'm passionate about it. I love our team. Our team's amazing, and I think that we will continue to make a difference. And this whole thing has been very hard emotionally. Of course, tough. I guess it'll toughen our skin, right, Mo? But
Hopefully.
yeah,
As the scars,
as the
you know,
scars heal.
yeah, heal.
But sometimes you have to. Sometimes there's people you want to give answers, but people don't always like the answers you're giving, or the perspective you're giving, or the information. So we live and learn. We're not perfect either. Presentation, I'm sure, is a big part of what we are working on, as far as when, how, and what. But anyway, that's me.
Well, let's just get into it,
Yeah.
because we want to address some of the rumors and the comments that have gone around about us and the Heidi Planck case. So I'll start with the rumors that have gone out about us, which are literally happening on a daily basis. We get random emails from people saying this person is talking about us, or hop on to this stream currently because they're talking about you. And so we're trying to get ahead of some of what people are saying to just present ourselves in a fair and balanced way. And,
Yeah, we're not
you
running
know,
from it. I mean,
oh,
I needed a break after that happened. Not only was I injured, but physically, but I was really hit emotionally by the article that came out, and the way it was framed was not very delicate. And
mhm.
not only was I upset about the way that happening, but definitely upset about the reaction. And um, you know, it, I'm back, but it's been a rough last 2 weeks.
And we'll talk about that in more detail in a sec. But one of the rumors is that we're doing this for clout. And for those of you who don't know what clout is, it's basically internet fame, internet points. We have no followers. Like, we have very few people who actually care about what we're saying.
We really, it's not the reason we're
This is
doing
not
this.
making us money. Uh, it's
No.
actually crazy to us that people take the time out of their day to like bash us for no reason. We have been working our butts off for this, and like
Yeah, we
Dawn
work
kind of
very
alluded
hard.
to, we are close to some of Heidi's family members and friends, and we really just want to bring them peace and then share information that is not um sensationalized. Like, I know that a lot of people just read the headlines of articles, and similar to the one that was out that referred to us, that's a problem. I completely feel that news has become just not truthful lately. And so it's good to have a place to go where you can at least rely on the people to give out the information that they feel is the most fair and balanced, and be honest when it's speculation versus fact. So we're really just trying to find clues in the case and share what we find, and make it clear when we make speculations. We definitely make mistakes, and we definitely say that when we have, and correct ourselves once we realize that we've made an error. One of those examples is when we talked about Jim in a negative light, and
And we
what we
definitely
said was very
owned that.
fair. I felt it was fair. We didn't,
Mhm.
we didn't frame him in a way that was um, crazy outside of what we were reading from the legitimate court documents. But when it relates to Heidi's disappearance, we have made a whole kind of stream about about the fact that, hey, we may have been wrong here. So these that's just an example of the way in which we try to approach these cases. And again, it's not for clout. If it was for clout, if it was for fame, if it was for views, we would say something, we would create some crazy theory and story and claim it as fact, and then say that we were talking to, Heidi's ghost, and then speaking with all, just
No,
crazy stuff.
I
And
mean,
people
it's
are
and I don't mean
doing.
to laugh. I'm not laughing at that. It's my reaction, I guess, my uncomfortable reaction. Like
It's very uncomfortable. It's very
it's
uncomfortable.
unbelievable some of the things that have been said, and it's clear that a lot of people who are saying these things have not even watched our live, because I can't. There are countless times where we make it very, very clear that yes, because this is said, this does not make this true. In other words, Heidi was not a drug addict. That was made so clear. We also made it very clear that this is what I was told by somebody else, and I felt it was important enough, or most of it. We even held back anything we thought that would be intrusive to the investigation. And it's clear that nobody, I mean, because so many of the rumors going around are exactly that, saying that, well, you can go from there, Mo.
Yeah,
It's still, yeah. I
mhm.
got to learn to roll with the punches, but
I know, we're trying. One day we'll say, "Oh my gosh, look what this person said about us," and we'll, like, cry. And another day we'll say, "Oh my gosh, look what
look who
this
believes
person
in
said
us.
about us."
Like, yeah, I mean,
Listen, exactly. And look who believes in us. We'll get, like, wonderful comments, and
yeah.
that'll make our day. Like,
And this
we
is not to put down. We have gotten a lot of support too, and we really appreciate the people who have taken the time to stop and say, "Can you explain this? I'm not. I don't. This is doesn't make sense to me.
Mhm.
Explain more what you mean." And those are some of the people that that have supported us in the biggest ways.
Mhm. And the people who say the negative comments that we know that their heart is not in the right place, we just
Yeah.
move along. We don't even pay attention anymore. We can't. You just can't. The other rumor is we are doing this for money. Done. How much money have we made from this? Is it 2 grand? We got
I
two
think
grand for
yeah,
that
I
article,
think that
right?
that was what the number was. The last number I heard, at least. And
Guys,
oh, and they always have to have their article in 3 days before they print it, and they were definitely paid. No, I will tell you right now, absolutely not, and not with the paper that wrote that article. I'll tell you that.
so I've even
Yeah.
texted the guy who wrote the article the next day, and I will show you the text he sent back. Oh, there you are, Don.
I
Okay.
know we
Hi,
cannot give you
Alex.
his
Rumors,
number.
yeah, rumors are around that Don, and yeah, we're not going to give you guys his number. 2K for the story. We've been hearing it again and again. Can you please just send me a text confirming that so that we can put it to rest? Don was going to ask, but I felt it was more believable coming from me because I wasn't the one who spoke to the reporter directly after he watched our live stream.
Yeah,
Okay? They reached out to us. Don
and
was
asked
paid
us just to
zero
verify what we
dollars
said on the live.
$0. Never asked, nor was offered any money
No,
at any point.
wasn't even spoken about.
Okay? So let's stop with that, please.
We even had him redact. We
Oh,
asked him.
I get into that in a little bit, but I absolutely called him the very next morning after reading the article and said, this information should be removed because it's identifying information of a person and we care about their safety. And can you rework the headline because people are just going to read the headline and think that Heidi was a drug addict.
Right.
And then there was another thing that I asked to be removed, which unfortunately was unable to be removed. But we care. But once a reporter gets information, they can print however
Whatever they
they
want.
like it, especially as we didn't pay for the article. They didn't pay us. There was no real link here other than them just reaching out and us saying
Mhm.
sure, like, and then Dawn spoke with Alex, the reporter.
And all he did was verify anything that was like certain things that were said on our live, and that was the extent of it.
Mm-hmm. The next rumor. Oh, and also we have subscriptions on to do this sort of thing, like on StreamYard and YouTube. Pay our gas money. No one has paid us for that.
We're trying.
We've
put so much
lost money
in.
and time.
We're not.
Yeah.
Money has nothing to do
We
with
don't
where our
care.
hearts are or what we why we've done any of it, especially that stream. That was we thought long and hard before we did that, and it had nothing to do with any gain in any way whatsoever.
The reason I will say that we decided to do the stream when we did is because information started to leak out. And I was concerned about how people were going to frame the story. I was concerned that people were going to say, there she was a drug addict, and we weren't going to be able to get ahead of it and say, listen, here's a caveat. Like, not everyone who takes Adderall, if she was there getting Adderall, not everyone
and
who
we made
takes
that very
Adderall is a
clear
drug
on that
addict.
stream. I will stand by that.
Mm-hmm. The next thing is we are lying about what happened. Now, a lot of people think that Dawn lied when she told the story because it's so out there. And one thing is for sure, it's definitely out there. But one thing is also for sure, we didn't lie.
Right.
Dawn told the story exactly as you were told, right?
Yes, every word. I did not embellish. I did not make anything bigger or smaller than it was. The only thing that I did not mention was the woman's name, which I didn't think at that time was appropriate. Of course, her name is leaked out since, but not from us.
No.
Every word. Nothing was at all. And I spoke with Mo. We spoke right after it happened.
Right after it happened.
And yeah.
And I will say, it was as shocking to Dawn as it was to me, as it was to everybody else. That article in the Sun is crazy because it's a crazy story. But that was what Dawn was told.
Crazy story. And claiming to be an eyewitness with other people backing her up. So, we never even said it was fact. We did say this is 100% for the words of somebody else, but they were important enough. We thought it should, the more support we can get, the more her name is out there, and not in a bad way, but, the more help we can getting some answers is the reason we did that stream. And it was important information, I felt. And I honestly feel it still is, because it helps us eliminate certain things, definitely. And I'll be honest, I think that there's a fraction of truth in some of it. That's is really actually, we have dove into those parts that we think are actually truthful and found a lot of information.
And we'll talk about that in a little bit once we wipe away the rumors that are related to us. We'll get onto the rumors about Heidi. So I know some of you say that it's really annoying that we don't stick to a theory and be clear with our thinking. Sorry, that's just the way research works. If you've ever done research, you have to gather all this information that seems to make no sense, but that's the way you form a theory. Okay, you see what the facts are, and then you form your
And it's
theory, and
ever
not vice
changing
versa.
the more information we get.
Yeah, yeah. It's not like Einstein decided that the, theory of what is it, gravity? Anyway, oh man, I sound
Einstein
so dumb right now.
has E equals
E
MC
equals
squared.
mc
What is it?
square, whatever that is. I think it's gravity.
The
Um,
theory of relativity.
theory of relativity. Ugh, and I call myself a scientist. I was never into physics, I'll tell you that much. Um, but my point is, he didn't create that theory and then find facts to support the theory. He saw the facts and then created the theory. That's
And
just
I,
how
and I bet
science
you that
works.
wasn't the first theory he came to when he was doing all of that.
No.
I'm sure he revised it many, 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 many
Mhm.
times.
And there are, I will back up and say that there are ways to approach research that is, it's called grassroots theory, where you create a theory and then you go on and try and find information that supports that. That's just not the way we're doing it. Okay, we're
No, we
critical
don't do that.
thinkers. We want to gather all the information, present it, and then we draw the lines that make the most sense. Now, that's not how everyone works, and there are a lot of YouTubers who like talking about the theory they find is most relevant and then running with that and finding all the information relevant to their own theory, and they're very focused on that. There's room for everyone. Okay, you just got to decide who makes the most sense for you, and that's okay. To me, there everyone is wonderful, and I totally respect and honor every other YouTuber and every other group who is doing their own research until they come from a place of just wanting to get views or bashing other people or being unkind or disrespectful to the family or people who are grieving around this case. Okay, that's where
Or, or
I put
outright
my
not
foot
telling
down,
the truth and lying. Yeah.
or just flat out lying. And we know that there are people out there right now who are doing that, which
Yeah.
is so sad. Okay, so we've already talked about the fact that we were apparently paid for the article. Absolutely not. Other YouTubers have decided that, we're just doing it for clout, and they want to talk about the fact that we were paid $2,000, and that's been shared in different groups, and we've received screenshots of that. It's just not true. I don't know how else to prove it to you other than to share the text
There's been people who
that
have done streams just on us,
I know. They did a
which is
whole there were people
unbelievable to
who
me.
they did a whole stream on us and how, like, we're just sharing this information for clout, blah, 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 and then they
That was
go
the first
on
half.
to talk about
But
all
the
the
second half, they started investigating that information. I'm not understanding. But
right?
either way, that's yeah, we're not. That's
Ugh,
not what we are want at all.
crazy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess that leads into the next thing. We were banned from other groups. That is absolutely true. I've been banned from several. I don't know why. One time I asked a question around I feel it really hurts my feelings when this happens. There was one person who banned me because I interviewed a person she interviewed before, and she reached out to me and said that I should have asked her permission to interview this person. And I was shocked at that. And I honestly felt bad right away, like thinking, oh my gosh, I broke a rule that like I didn't know like YouTubers had. And I just said, listen, I asked for their consent. I, made sure that they were able to take off any information that they wanted after the stream went, and consent is ongoing. I shared all my questions with them before the stream. Like, I approached it like a true, qualitative interview
I'm
that
not
has
saying they
been
want up
signed
on
and approved by
anybody.
an ethics board. Like, that's how I was approaching it. And so I was shocked when they said, like, I can smell your bull from a mile away. You're fake. You're this and that. And I was like, I just didn't know where this was coming from. And I started to realize that this person doesn't have the family's best interest in mind. They weren't doing it. They weren't like talking about the case to find any real solution. They just wanted views. And I actually ended up I was like, "Oh, they have a YouTube I didn't even realize they had a YouTube channel. This was just a Facebook group." I was like, "Oh, they have a YouTube channel. Oh, I wonder what it's like." And so I went and searched it and found like a whole petition that has been drafted to get them off the internet because they're anti-Semites and they're racist and sexist and homophobic, and all of these things are things that I am not. I just want to make that clear. I know there was someone in the comments that was claiming I was a racist. That is outlandish. But there's nothing I can do to prove that to you. So it's something that I'll just move on from
Well, I'm sure we'll hear
because
about them getting
ah,
blocked anyway.
yeah, yeah. Oh well,
We just
we'll get
don't.
those
We
emails,
don't
I'm sure.
tolerate. We don't tolerate hate. We don't tolerate disrespect of our members
Oh
or
yeah, and
of
if
us.
you do want to send us an email,
Move on.
look at
There's so
that.
many
There's an
YouTube channels out
email. Please send us an email. You can yell at me there if you'd like, or
there.
we can just talk and have a good conversation and we can discuss why you felt that way.
Exactly.
I don't want to approach anything with a fiery uh attitude. Like
She
I
says with
just
her
want to
new
be
hair.
friends with everyone. Like it's actually shocking that we receive as much like hateful comments as we did. Like it was really like really
I
really
was
hard
not
on us.
expecting anything at all because, from my perspective, I was relaying something that was told to me. I didn't even stop to even consider the fact that this would be something that would create hatred for me. And trust me, it has been, I have run across actual really just hatred. And I get, this is, I guess, the YouTube and the true crime and podcast world is not as pretty as we
I
thought it.
literally thought
I
this
had,
would be like an area of YouTube that everyone was like holding hands and singing kumbaya and like have a private chat to like discuss how we can support each other.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
will say there are people like that. We've spoken to other like
Hmm.
Popcorn Planet. We were on Andy's
Animal,
show.
animal
Um,
reacts.
Manimal Reacts. Who else was it? There was another
Oh,
person.
yeah,
Ik-
ick,
Ik- Ikmel?
ictamel. I
Ikmel?
can't.
I don't think we've ever
So
said it out
sorry
loud.
for listening.
But those people are so wonderful. Go watch their streams. They're so kind and like you can tell they're coming from a good place. And you know what? They did ask us questions that were
Yeah,
tough. And
exactly.
we love that. We
Yeah.
welcome the hard questions. Just
Well, because they
approach it.
honestly wanted to understand and get clarity on the craziness and madness that this story
Mhm.
is,
Mhm.
whatever, however you want to put it. But yeah, I mean, and I guess on both sides, it's all about the approach. You can't,
Mhm.
you know, we're totally willing to support other people's channels and, as long as you are supporting the cause and are respectful.
And send us booze and money,
Yeah.
obviously.
Oh yeah, because I
Just
drink at
kidding.
11 a.m. when I'm on the stream. Or did you forget that? Sure.
That brings us to our next thing. Some of the comments
I
that
really.
have been said to us is Boots is lying. Dawn is lying about the concussion. No, she had a CT scan the next day. Like she was out of commission for a few days. That's crazy. She can show her friggin' medical records
Yep.
if you guys need to see it, but that is the absolute truth. In fact, I was very concerned when you called me after this whole thing happened because you were in tears,
Yeah.
like driving to
I
go
know.
home on the
I don't
highway
barely
because
even remember that
you were
drive, but
so scared, and I was trying to get you to pull over or trying to get you to go to a hospital first, and it it was a crazy time. Like you were in shock, I was in shock, but then also asking
it was
questions. I'm
really
like, hold on,
emotional.
what? Who is this person's name? How did they know this? When did they tell you that? And you're like, I haven't even been able to process this. Like, I
Yeah.
was just punched in the back of
And
the
I wasn't
head.
even, you're like, well, what about this and this and this? And you're into like the whole, okay, let's look into this. And then, okay, now how does this change? And I'm like, I don't know. All I can do is tell you exactly what I was told. I can't even think beyond what does this mean
Mhm.
at that point.
And you have
I
to
was
put
so
yourself,
scared. Yeah.
yeah, in Dawn's shoes. Like you were there
It
tending
was
to a
traumatic.
vigil, then some random person comes over and brings you to their Maserati with slashed tires.
And that's another thing I want to address too.
Yes,
That this
go.
was not a random person who saw us on the corner. Okay, we went down there to cover Heidi's picture in plastic because it was sprinkling and we didn't want the picture to get ruined. Now, the woman who, yes, she had a Maserati. And I'm pretty sure after finding out who she is, and now knowing what I know now, I'm pretty sure it wasn't all legit. I mean, as far as what she does for a living, as far as her in general. And I'm pretty sure the vehicle, I mean, I don't know if it had insurance, but I know it didn't have AAA. So I'm assuming that her income is not exactly, the type that would demand insurance or AAA or anything like that. I'm not saying she does, but whatever. It doesn't, but it makes sense to me because I didn't even think about it at the time.
I
But
know, and you're such a good person that that's how you would react.
I
And
did. I mean,
my knee
she
jerk
had
was
met the person
exactly
I was
like
with. Yeah, she had
everyone
met the person
else's.
I was with before. So she
Mhm.
wasn't random to her. She had met her before. And I guess the person I was with, she was she had seen her and met her at the vigil in October. She had also befriended some people that Heidi know, and she was aware of that because she was telling me about it, and she was explaining how she knew her. So it wasn't some random person, and she was driving a different car. So she was driving. She has two cars. So she was driving her Mercedes, and she was at the stop sign or at the stoplight where we were at the vigil, right at the vigil. And she looked over. She's like, "Hey," the conversation didn't start about AAA. She said, "Hey," pulled over and came out and talked to the person I was with. And then she started telling us about the tire and then everything else.
Mhm.
And that's how it happened. I mean, it's some random person. Oh, all of a sudden she finds a YouTuber on the corner. Like,
I
come
know,
on
and
now,
that's what
you
people are
guys.
saying. Yeah.
People get a grip.
And
We're
honestly,
trying to help this woman and her family and her friends, and that's what it's about. So all of these things being thrown and all the attention on us is really from people who are supposedly doing this for the same reasons we are. No, they're not. That is not true because they wouldn't be focusing on this. They wouldn't be
mhm,
focusing on us. They'd be focusing on getting answers.
mhm. And I will say, like, my reaction to your story was exactly the same as everyone else's. Like, huh? Like some random
Yeah.
person came
Yeah.
up. Like that was my reaction. And had I not spoken to you and had I not done the live with you, and if people would take the time to like listen to what we had to
What
say in
actually
detail
happened?
over 2 hours or however long it was, then you would understand this. But the article doesn't do it justice. And, for a good reason. I spoke to the guy who wrote the article the next morning and I said, is there any way you can change this and that? Because in reading it, you're leaving out some of the details. And, what he said was unfortunately, like, this was the most succinct I could possibly make it. And I get it. Like, I understand his challenge there. Um, anyway, um, another thing that people said is, let's see, why would someone walk into the Hope and Flower building knowing it was so dangerous? I mean, Dawn, you were just following.
Oh, what? I mean, it wasn't just me. It was a joint decision. But I think that really we wanted, we were, we wanted. I mean, they wanted answers. She wanted answers.
Mhm,
I wanted answers. And if there was, if door was being opened for us, then we weren't. We obviously didn't consider the danger, which we now looking back, everything in hindsight, right, is 2020. But no, I wasn't thinking about the danger, and I should have. Although I have been doing, research and like literally 20 out of 24 hours for weeks. Heidi Planck, Heidi Planck, Heidi Planck, and you know, we're not the only ones that have. We're not the only channel that's gone down there and gotten footage, but the fact that we had that opportunity, um, I believed that we were safe because the person I was with had met her until it got to the point where it was heated and we decided to leave. But No, I wanted answers. And so did she. And I wanted them for the people who love Heidi.
Mm-hmm. And this is another comment that I just found tonight that like really upset me, and we've kind of alluded to it. I've taken out the person's
Oh my
picture because
goodness.
I'm not horrible. But did you notice how the very beginning Boots had been chugging the wine? That was the very first thing I noticed, quite literally. It's like she didn't realize she was live streaming it, or perhaps just that antsy or whatever they alleged about Heidi at her son's game. First of all, we never said Heidi was antsy. That is what Jim said.
Yeah, those were Jim's words.
His
And
literal words.
everybody has repeated Jim's words. Like in that oh my goodness gracious. And no,
And
I drank out of that cup the entire stream, not just oops. No, it was
and
11 o'clock in the
chugging,
same morning.
like,
Come on, guys.
oh my gosh.
Really?
Ugh.
Please.
Anyway, I just thought that one was
And I know
like so
I'm now
outlandish.
doing this with my cans, so I'm safe. But I don't want to get in trouble for advertising something that we're not.
Um,
Wow.
yeah.
That's how much.
Like that is as the how low people go
Yeah,
when it
that's
comes
just
to, and
ridiculous.
like that is not constructive. Like if you wanted to reach out and say, "Hi, like I noticed you were drinking wine at the beginning of the stream." Like I felt like maybe that meant that you were an alcoholic or something. Can you confirm? Like, what if that's what you
Yeah,
want
no,
to talk
no,
to us about?
agreed.
Fine, that's great. Talk to us about it. We may laugh at it, or like it may take us,
It's actually my
by
favorite cup. I got
surprise.
it for my 50th birthday. So I'll drink whatever the hell I want to drink out of it, but not at 11 o'clock in the morning and not alcohol while I'm streaming or otherwise. Like that's
I know,
that's
and
hatred.
I
That's
work full
hatred
time.
I'm
Like I
talking
don't,
about.
yeah, and no one has said that I don't even
And
drink
that's the
really.
reason
I
you do
have
it, is
like
to hurt
maybe
us. And
one
yes,
glass,
it worked.
but who cares? Also, who cares?
We're at that point, yeah, where it's just like over
I
it.
know.
Yeah.
At first, we would be like, "Oh my god, I can't."
Yeah. It
How
was
would
hard at
they
first.
say that? And now we're just like, you know what? That again, like another day, right? Like we're learning this is
Exactly.
just the way of YouTube. It's not all sunshine and
Haters
rainbows as
gonna
I thought it
hate.
might be. But so the next thing is that we did not talk to LAPD or the family before we did the stream. I'll let you
And
take this one, Dawn.
yeah. So I made it very clear on the live, if anybody listened to it. And I also believe, I mean, I don't know, I don't remember. I've only read that article once or twice because it's just, yeah. But no. So I've heard this over and over and over and over, how I've hurt Bond and I've hurt the family because I came out with this. And I've heard everything from it takes 3 days to put out an article and they're not going to do it unless they're paid for information. Okay. Not true and not true, because I spoke with LAPD for over an hour, not just with the detective on the case that's in charge of the case, but also, I don't know, I know at least one, but I'm sure others were in there because I was on the speaker phone and recorded. So everything I said was recorded, and it was over an hour long, and sent them every piece of information I had. I sent them pictures. I sent them video. I sent them all the information on anything that happened then. And actually, they asked for a few other things that, that regarding our research that we've been doing. And I sent that to them as well. And that was 2 days before the live. Now, the person I was with, she contacted Jim the next morning, the exact same time I was talking to the LAPD. She was speaking with Jim and spoke with him for quite some time, she said, at length. And it was not been the first time he had heard it. He'd heard this story before. And he doesn't, and that's all I have to say about that, because I didn't physically speak to him, but I know that he was involved, and that he was made aware 2 days beforehand. And not to mention family and friends were as well. So the family members we know, and the friends we know, they've known. So this was, number one, not news to anybody. And in no way, shape, or form are we responsible for what was told to us. And
Yeah, we were
trust
not
me,
the ones to share the rumors. They
right,
knew these rumors. We were
right.
the ones to try and get ahead of
I
it.
think we delicately went about our stream in the information that we presented. And it's been the information rumors that followed that stream up by others that have made it look so horrible. Um, we made it very clear Heidi's not a drug addict. Although here we have all these rumors saying you're poor Bond, look what you're doing to Bond, look at, you're giving him a great Christmas. And like, how in the world does that rest on us? We are not in no way, shape, or form did we present that. Others have presented it though since then. And it breaks my heart seeing that. So I'm a mom, I have kids of my own, and that's my first priority, honestly. And I've been told that Jim has been very, very diligent about protecting him from things and being open with him about things, as well as his wife. They've been taking great care in Bond's mental health and awareness of everything that's going on. So all these people who are saying that I'm responsible for hurting Bond and this and that, and no, that's just flat out wrong.
And
Is
it's
all I have to say to
mean.
that. It's mean and it's
It's so
wrong.
mean and wrong, yeah. And I will
And these are
say,
the people
not
in
that
the
I
same breath who are saying all these rumors that we never even said. So
Mhm.
anyway, sorry.
I was just gonna say I also tried calling the police, and maybe this is where the rumors started, but I was never like I called the police. First of all, I called Crime Stoppers, the like LA number of Crime Stoppers that I thought would route me to LA, but it said LA on my phone, but was rerouted to Vancouver. I guess that's how it works. That kind of makes sense. I didn't think twice. And so then they connected me or gave me the LAPD number. So I called them. And then the guy who answered the phone, I just started talking about the Heidi Planck case and giving all this information that I had heard from Dawn because I was concerned about her concussion and wondering if she would remember all the details that she told me. And then I paused for a moment, didn't hear anything on the other line, and said, should I continue talking? I just have a lot more information to share. And he said, I'm sorry, I don't know what case you're talking about. And once I explained what it was, I was kind of surprised at that. They transferred me over to another department, and then no one answered the phone, and I left a voicemail, and no one called me back. So, um, yeah, that was my
And to
attempt.
follow that up, there's someone in our Discord, I believe, that is also local, maybe not our Discord, somebody that is involved with investigating the case, that we know, who also called up to Castaic, and there was a body found in Castaic Lake. Believe it was last week, end of like late last week, and they called to verify that who it was. Like, they were not asking who it was; they just wanted to verify that it wasn't Heidi. And they said, we don't even know who that is. I mean, so
Ooh,
I can't tell you how much the ball has dropped there on that
yeah.
end.
So that brings us to the rumors of the Heidi Planck case. We've talked a bit about that, but I put names in here, but I'm going to leave them out. But we are
You know who you
close to,
are. You know who
yeah,
you
you know who
are.
you are. We're close to cousins and friends of Heidi. And people are saying that they're sharing this information for fame or clout. They're not.
My God, they
We
are
know that they're
heartbroken.
taking this really, really hard. They're doing whatever they can to help. We're speaking to them literally daily. They're saying, like, have you heard anything? Like,
They are
we just want to
so,
bring
yeah,
some peace to Bond for Christmas before the holidays. Like, do you know if they're still doing the excavation? Like, please help. Like, are you able to interview this person? They're in contact with us all the time, and we're pushing and pushing and pushing for more legitimate information and to bring them some sort of peace or just
and they want her name
justice
out
around
there.
this.
They don't like the silence. They want her name out there, of course, in a positive way. But the thing is that they're not. They won't talk about it publicly anymore either because of all this.
Mhm.
And that's not right.
So we know for a fact that they, like us, have had to take some time off, they're dealing with their own health issues. Everyone's suffering around this. This is
They're
not
taking
fun
it,
for
yeah,
us,
yeah.
right? We get excited over little banners and look, we have a scrolly thing, like, but that's really the joy. And the fact that we've gotten to meet like amazing people, like, I never imagined being so close to Ali and Dawn and all the other people in our disc, Mallory, and who you are, Mark, CP21. Like, we love you.
All of them.
And
I mean, and Heidi's neighbor, and I'm not going to disclose her name because I'm not sure. But we have a great team over there, and every single one of you, if you're watching, we love you. And they all have very big hearts and big brains, and we're grateful for all of them.
yeah,
Every single one of them.
and if you guys want to join our Discord, I'll put our email back on. You can email us. I will be asking, unfortunately, some personal information just because we have had some hackers and people join.
Yeah.
We do screen, and like I never look into people unless I feel like there's a twinge of I don't know if they're connected to so and so or whatever. It may take us a little bit to respond to you, so that's not because we're ignoring you or we think that you're fake or anything like that. We're literally just trying to live our lives and be able to make work our real jobs and take care of our dogs and our kids and everything else. So don't take that personally. It's never personal unless we very specifically say that, and we're very upfront about it. Some of the people, we've received some random emails from people, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. But it's tough. Like, we have to really decide whether we're going to share this information or not, because we don't know how to trust it. Let's see. Oh, there was one rumor. These other YouTubers are saying that the friend of Heidi, who was with Dawn at the vigil the night that Dawn, you got the concussion, is not actually a real friend, and she hasn't seen Heidi in 10 years.
But that's a new one to me. Oh, no, I think I did hear that.
You did know that. So we don't want to give too much information here because we don't want to reveal the identity of the person. But like,
She's actually the only person I consider a real friend of Heidi's, to be honest.
Yeah, that there's no way. Like, we know for a fact that's not true. No. And so saying that is so horrible.
It's
just horrible.
Well, and I believe that she has received a lot of the same flack in her life because of simply her trying to help as well. And that's even sadder. That's devastating.
Yeah.
Because her heart is just so big.
Yeah, literally everyone that we've remained close with in this case. It's funny, like, some of the people who initially came out were like, "Oh, we're such fans," or we just want to join your Discord, blah blah. They've turned out to be just like not nice people. And that's not to say they're inherently unkind. They just maybe are going through their own kind of thing, and that's the way people react sometimes, and it's hard to see through that and not paint them as a bad person. But some of the way in which others have behaved certainly doesn't make me trust them and want to be around them all the time. I'll leave it at that. Okay. Again, we've talked about this a little bit, but Heidi was a drug abuser. That is a rumor going around. Definitely false. Was she taking Adderall? Yes, that's in the court documents. But was she abusing it? No, that's also in the court documents. Not that we know of. A doctor signed a page saying she wasn't abusing her prescription. A doctor can lose their license.
That is not why Heidi went downtown, according to what I was told either. Let me just say that. If I can't say that enough, I wish I could just put that on a loop. Okay, so many people have said she went down there to get drugs. How can you say she went down there to get drugs? You have to go downtown LA to get drugs. No, that is not what happened. That's never what I said. That was not even what the article from the Sun said. And that's not what I was told. She went down there to meet someone that she knew. End of story. Like, that was not her purpose of going down there that I was told or that I think.
And a lot of people who are spreading that rumor are not listening to our streams at all.
Right.
They simply, we've even popped on to their streams and say, hey, like we're here, like can we like hop on and just share a story, share it, from the horse's mouth, so to speak. And they're like, nope. Like they literally will acknowledge the fact that we're there. And we're like, no, if they want to reach out and email us and schedule a time to be on, then you can do that. And it's like, guys, like what is the purpose here? Is it to run with a rumor, or is it to to open a discussion and figure out what is legitimately the truth? Okay. um and the other rumor is that we're exploiting rather information. We have been extremely careful to not release the names of certain people uh, to ensure that the investigation isn't impacted in a negative way, and to provide
And
safety for
ensure my
some
safety.
and ensure your safety. Um, and other people are sharing information that we feel shouldn't have been shared and is a risk to the investigation and for the safety of other people. And we also know for a fact some people are saying that they're speaking with Jim directly. We know that he wants nothing to do with being in the public eye at all right now. He's not speaking with anyone. The reality is he's grieving the loss of his wife, or his ex-wife rather, and trying to take care of his son who is grieving the loss
He's
of
put
his
a lot on his
mother.
plate. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's
Um,
trying to get
and
in.
then, we know that there are pictures that only a few people have seen and have access to have also been shared. So we're pretty certain we know who these YouTubers are speaking with. And
Well,
those
and
people,
the thing is, I think even the son said specifically, I asked her to see the photos and she refused.
it does say that in the article. And
Yeah.
he actually asked me when I spoke to them, are you able to share the photos? And I said, no. And I haven't shared them with anyone. It's only Don and I who have had access to it. So, you know,
Well, and the person, yeah,
well, and the person,
on our
right?
ends. Yeah.
And we know that who they're connected to. So
Yeah.
anyway, those people are, I question very heavily what they're doing this for.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. And so with that, so what do we know?
Right.
Well, we know that they've not resumed the search, to the best of our knowledge, in the landfill. I know they stopped for rain on Friday, was it? And
It's been very, very wet here and rainy and
yeah,
really, I could imagine it would be very
it
difficult.
would
So
be hard. Yeah.
yeah.
There was an article that was released on the Daily Mail this morning. No real new information. It really digs into the Hunter Biden connection to the Galanis Sugarman
Which we've already dove
tribal bond
into
scheme.
on
We've
our
delved into
stream.
that. I don't know that there's much more around that right now that we can pull, but you can certainly read the
But we're
article.
not, yeah,
And
we haven't stopped, but
no, we haven't saw. Of course, that's why we've read the article. But if it's not helpful at this point, it'd be it's just more noise, I think. Um, okay, so we are learning more about Heidi's work and quote unquote friends, who are not exactly who they seem to be. We really can't share too much more right now due to safety, but we will when we feel the time is right, and if it's helpful to the investigation to do so. But we have learned a lot about those who supposedly say they were close to Heidi. um, yeah, I guess that's all I really say about that. Um, we also have spoken to someone through anonymous email. I don't really want to go into this too much because
yeah,
we're really not sure about their identity, but they say they're connected to the penthouse that we've spoken about, and say that the person who Don spoke to is lying, and here's why. But they're using a VPN and they won't share much more. So the details of their conversation with me, I would like, and we've spoken about this as a group, to keep it on the DL right now, before we are able to verify some of this information. The last thing we want is to share some story and then for people to run with it as fact. And you know, anyway, we're we're curious about this. We are in contact, but again, just stay tuned. We'll release what we can, and of course with consent too, without putting anyone in danger. We also, little sneak peek, have an interview lined up of someone you've heard the name of many times, and they are shockingly willing to help and have been very nice. So we are going to be talking to them on Monday, the 27th. Yeah, that'll be exciting. We are probably not going to do that live with them. We want to respect
Right.
their uh, potential anonymity. We'll ask them for their consent to share the information that they share with us, of course, and we'll share whatever we can with you guys. But we will share everything we learn with you, if we can, and if it won't negatively impact the investigation, and we'll share it with police first. Of course. And the family member first. Of course. Those are the people we care about most. No offense. We love
Yeah.
you guys. And those are in our Discord. You guys are part of the special special circle of fairy angel lovers that we have in our life. And you will know too. But yes, that is the way we're approaching it. We're approaching it with delicacy and
Take
care
first.
and respect. So the fact that they're willing to speak to us is extremely exciting. And if we, like I said, get the consent to share their name, their information, or the information they share with us, then of course we will share it with you guys. But you'll have to stay tuned. So I always forget to say this, but please like and subscribe. Although we're not doing this for the views, it does help share good information to other people. We're not even close to being monetized, and I
Yeah.
think we've sworn too much and showed too many labels. Probably, I don't know
Well,
how it
but
works.
people
I
are
don't know what the
constantly
rules are.
looking for information on her, so we want us to pop up so they
Yeah.
can get that.
And if you do have any questions or comments or want to share anonymous information, you don't have to create a VPN and a fake email to share information with us. You can just email us and say, "This is off the record, please." And we
Yeah,
won't share anything
exactly.
with anybody else. Okay.
Mhm.
So if you do want to do that and help us with the investigation, it would tremendously help the family and friends of Heidi and just the case in general. Do I have a lot of confidence in the LAPD? No, because of my
I
experience,
fear I
but
can't say that.
but but it could be that they're actually doing their very best right now with the
Yeah.
resources that they have access to. And so I don't want to like poo poo on the LAPD. That was just my experience. I was disappointed that they didn't know the name of Heidi Planck, but let's back it up here. The world doesn't revolve around one case. They probably have like, hundreds of cases on their desk right now, and they're trying to prioritize all of
I
them.
mean, they did take the time to sit and talk to me for quite some time. So,
Mhm.
you know, um, yeah.
So I just posted the StreamYard link there. If you want to join and ask us hard questions, give us feedback, hey, you can do that. Please do, share what you feel and your thoughts, even if they're, seemingly harsh. We like to approach it head on. We would much prefer you say it directly to us than to, chat about it in another stream or, whatever it is. So join if you want to, click the link, and then just exit out of YouTube if you can, because that creates an echo sometimes. So we'll wait a couple minutes to see if anyone will join. But you can also send us an email. You can see us right there, modoninvestigations@gmail.com. And then I'll just flash up the crisis text line again, just in case you want to talk to anyone, because wonderful people like Dawn are there to answer the phone. I've actually been on the phone with Dawn, and then we're having a great conversation and laughing, or we're crying and whatever. And Dawn immediately has to go because she has to answer this phone call because someone needs help. And like, to me, that is incredible that you can switch off your personal like life that is seemingly like, the center of the universe, and like everything is tough or wonderful or whatever it is, and then you shut that off and go to help someone else. I think that speaks volumes to the type
Yeah.
of person
You
Dawn
guys are, you're
is.
never alone. So, I mean, it is all through text. Text pound 741 741,
Mm-hmm.
and someone's always there. You're never alone.
Hi, Dawn or Allie. Oh my gosh, Allie, missed you, Allie.
Hi.
Hi.
So Allie, if you guys don't know, which of
Our
course
amazing
none of you
one.
do, she's amazing. She has two beautiful kids whose
Thanks.
Christmas holiday pictures we just saw, and she has cute little puppies that
I
Yeah.
do.
are like
They're all eyes
hanging
open
out.
and walking and barking
Oh
and
my
growling.
gosh.
And yes, this girl's got a heart just like ours, and it's
Thank
really,
you.
it's been through it. Just
Yeah.
Well, you guys both know I've said it a million times that I love you to bits. And um, the hateful, mean things that people have said impact more than just the people they're directed at. They impact right down to it, even the investigation, because when you're spending your time out there talking about us or degrading other people who are putting information out there, you're taking away from the case. You're taking away from the information that we are trying to get out there so that there's more pressure for a deeper investigation. At the end of the day, we all care that there's a child involved in this case. And it is
110%.
Mao has a Mo. Oh my gosh, here now I go
Everyone says
screwing
that.
it up. I ain't done it till now. She has fur babies. Me and Dawn both have kids of our own. I have a child that's very close to Bond's age. I can relate, and I know that these women can relate to loving children too. So any indication that anything we have
Part of
done
the reason we do this. Like,
exactly, and as Donna stated, she works for the crisis line. She knows what crisis situations are when people have been in traumatic situations on a daily basis. So it's kind of crazy to think that either of these women would do that to put anybody in a spot that could potentially harm them mentally.
exactly.
So that's my 2 cents for one night. I just love you both, and I am the one behind the scenes. And if you
Yes, she
keep
is.
stealing content that is copyright owned, I'm the one that's
Yes.
sending the bad guys after
Wait,
you.
repeat that again. I
Because
didn't quite hear you.
if you're stealing copyrighted information off of this channel, there will be a legal copyright strike presented because I have already done two. Like legally
And I've done
owned
a few too.
pictures, they are not content that is allowed to be distributed freely. So, yeah, I'll be the
We
bad
love you,
guy behind the
Allie.
computer
We love you so much,
submitting
Allie. Just
that
amazing.
stuff.
Mhm. And I will say, like, again, to your point, it's not just us that it affects, it's the investigation, but it's also people like you and people in our Discord who really take it hard because
So
we're all working on this information together. And then when,
Right.
Dawn and I are the face of it, that doesn't mean that what we're presenting is only our thoughts. We've literally talked with our entire Discord channel about this and gathered everyone else's thoughts, and they've helped with information too. So
Every
you just
live that's brought up too, which means that we are not just presenting one side of any story.
no.
There are 20 people in our Discord team now, and them 20 opinions all matter. Every one of you
Yep.
that is in there matter.
Yeah.
And we listen to everything that is said, that is discussed, and are always willing to discuss different points of view because it helps bring more thoughts, more answers, and moves things further along, even when you go backwards in cycles,
Mhm.
because we've done that a lot.
We've gone around and
We
around.
have, but we pick up more every,
Mhm.
anytime we do that. And
Mhm.
that's a great point, Ellie. Absolutely.
Mhm.
We
Yeah,
love
So,
we've
you so
even
much.
like to that point, we've even gone back and been like, "Oh yeah, let's reread
Wait,
this
were we here?
comment. Wait,
it's
what was
like
that name
rewatching a
again?"
movie or a show
Yeah.
or reading a book. Every time you look at something, you see something new. And
I
if
know, it's like
somebody
Fight
else
Club.
says their opinion on that, it might entice you to think your opinion plus their opinion and
Fresh
see
eyes.
what anything can bring something big up. Anything. It takes is one little thing. I feel at this point where everything is,
Oh,
it would only
Mallory.
take. Oh
Sorry.
no, come back. I'll shut up. I promise.
No, no, no.
I'll get off
Love
my
you,
horse.
Mallory.
I love you both. I'm gonna hop off of here before they start screaming, and then you guys all have to listen to that.
I don't mind
I think they're milk
screaming
drunk right
little.
now.
Yeah.
They are so roly poly. They're like little turtles. They get stuck on their
Aw.
backs.
We haven't gotten any updated pictures in a few days, so.
Not with the eyes open.
No, yeah, they're crazy now. I
The mouths are
I
open.
gotta sit them still one at a time to take pictures now because they can move.
Oh my gosh, so cute.
Love pups.
Well, can't wait to see updates, and thanks so much for hopping on, Allie. We love you so much,
Absolutely.
and you're so
I
important to
love you
this
both
Discord.
too.
And
Yeah,
ugh,
you can do this.
like we
without
don't
you.
have the energy to go after the people who are, copywriting and all
Right?
the rest. So yeah, and I will say, just for everyone else, like Allie has helped, provide templates for some of the lives that we've done. Like,
Yes.
can't even tell, like
Their
this would be
backbone.
a mess without Allie and people like Mallory and CP and literally everyone in the chat too. Dakota, Courtney, like names I've never seen before. Like this is incredible.
I am
It
But
makes us
so
Allie
feel
kills it
impressed.
though.
so good.
What's
Yes.
Thank you.
I said, but Allie kills it though.
Thanks.
She does.
I'm just that person over there in the corner trying to do things behind the curtains, Wizard of Oz shit. Shoot stuff.
Allie Boz.
Except when you pull
There's
back
a
the curtain,
reason
you're
my
like,
kid went to
wow.
preschool cussing. I'm sorry.
Mm.
But don't call, CPS on me or anything because they are well taken care of.
Oh, Lord.
Before we
Oh,
go
we
there,
believe
oh my
that.
God, her kid sweared. Well,
They
guess
must
what?
be
The
that pound
teacher
words.
and the lady that was
Bad
here with her
influences.
were like, if that's the worst he does, we're good. And I'm like, I don't know what that says about the other kids that are
Yeah.
coming into your pre-K,
Yikes.
but anyways, yeah, I'm shutting up now. Okay.
Allie, thank you.
Bye, Allie.
Everything you do.
And
I was just calling to
Mallory.
say hi.
Hi.
We're so happy you called in. We love you, Mallory. You've been incredibly helpful. You joined and just like took off running.
Yeah.
I swear, you're one of those like people who emailed us that we were like so excited about because of your background and your expertise and your just dedication and passion towards this type of thing. Like, we've been a part of other discords and I think you are too. And I won't speak for all of them, but some of them just have a lot of people who are never online and never help. But I can say with full confidence that every single person has been incredibly helpful in
Every
our
single
Discord.
one.
And sometimes people are
I
silent
have
and
it
then they
on
pop in.
notifications on my phone, so that way whenever anyone says anything, it pops up on my phone, so I can just look like it's a text message. That's why I'm always
Yeah.
back so fast. I'm not always like sitting there waiting for it.
No, we aren't either.
Yeah.
But I will say, I will caution you, like if you keep that on, it might take over your life. So I've had to remove Discord from my phone a couple of times just to like take a breather and not have to like stop my jogging in the morning, like to raid a Discord and start to do research on someone while I'm out with the dogs or whatever it is. So just check in with yourself often.
Yeah, I've been resting today still.
Yeah.
And I went on this afternoon and I had like 87 missed messages. So
Oh my God.
it was good.
Didn't I tell you to take some time for yourself?
Take my time and then I regret it because then I miss too much. I feel like I should just
Oh,
read it
no.
all
Gotcha.
in real time and then maybe just comment later on.
Well, we'll tag you if we need
was
you.
that easy.
Usually I'll do like the at everyone to like, all right, everyone, let's get the troops going. We need some help here. And we always do get some help. So yeah, we appreciate it. And you're super, super important. Yeah, honestly, like the fact that we have people like you in our Discord and in the comments and watching our YouTubes, and like it makes us able to keep going.
Exactly. If it weren't for all of you guys and everybody in the chat right now and everybody in the Discord and everybody who's supported us, especially through all this, I think that, yeah, it would, you guys motivate and give us what we need inside to keep going.
Good. Well, we're glad.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, I think with that, let's go to bed.
Yeah.
I know
I
I'm
know,
ready
it's
to go to
midnight.
bed. I know Dawn will probably be up until like 3 a.m. like texting me like, "Hey, are you on? Like, are you available?" It's like the opposite of like, "You up?" Like, I know that she wants to talk about a friggin' murder case.
What time is it where you guys are?
We're on the same. Yeah. And what time
are
is
you?
it?
Yeah, it's 9:47 here.
Yeah.
What time is it? Are you in Pacific time, Mallory? No,
I'm
you're
in Central.
right. So it's 10.
So I'm in
it's almost
Minneapolis.
11. Oh, you're
it's
7?
11:48.
Oh, 11. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, that's like in the morning. So you guys are already in full gear by the time I wake up.
Well, you wake up at like 1 p.m. and you're like,
well, because I work at the crisis.
I know. I'm just
hotline.
kidding. And you're up late. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm really ready to go to bed.
Yeah, Courtney, Discords are like an insane group text. And then we have a bunch of different like channels where we share music and memes that are rarely used. It's really just mostly focused on like case stuff, but sometimes we get off on a tangent and share, pictures of our pets and stuff. But anyway, if you want to join, just send us an email. You might have to share some personal information if we, need to make sure that you're a legitimate person. But yeah. Oh, Ontario, Canada. We're in Ontario, CJ. I was born and raised. No, I was raised in Ontario. I wasn't born there. I was born in New Brunswick. I give a lot of information about myself out. I lost my door now.
I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right. Bye, Mallory.
Bye, Mallory. Let's tell everybody that's been supporting us in the chat tonight. Thank you so much. It means so much to us, more than you know. And there was someone who said to play pickleball, and I'm really interested about that.
That's so funny. They said something like, "Oh, if I look like Dawn when I'm 50, then I want to play pickleball." And I know that you asked me to play. And I'm like, honestly,
I just pickleball. I'm all in her YouTube video.
Like lawn bowling? Like that's how I envision like a bunch of like golden girls like playing lawn bowling. When I think of pickleball, I don't even know what it actually is. Oh, Toronto.
Yeah,
okay.
It's like a mini. Like it's. Look it up. There's tons of YouTube on it. It's like tennis on a smaller court, but with paddles and a heavy wiffle ball, and it's similar to tennis, but
it's like lightweight. What is it? What's squash-ish?
Sort of ish.
Or like
it's
badminton, but
well, I mean,
I'll look it up. I'll YouTube it. Yeah. I probably won't spend too much time watching YouTube videos on it, but I'll figure out what it is.
Well, you know what? Once I get a paddle in your hand, which eventually I'm determined will happen.
I'll be a pickleball champ. I'll get right into it. That'll be my next obsession is pickleball. I'll just have a YouTube on pickleball.
I'm telling you, it's bigger. It's bigger than you even know. Seriously.
I believe it. I trust you. And yeah, CJ, I spent some time in Toronto. I was actually in a movie in Toronto called Scott Pilgrim versus the World. If you watch that movie, I'm in the background and I am noticeable. Yeah, that's a feather in my cap. I like to tell people about sometimes. I was raised in Whitby, Ontario, if you know about that. Whitby, close to Oshawa, which is kindly known as the Schwa for good reason. And I'm actually going home to New Brunswick, Fredericton, New Brunswick, for the holidays. So
yes. And on that, everybody, Have a
Yeah.
wonderful holiday.
Yeah,
Whatever.
go spend some time with your family. It's what is
Yeah.
it? The shortest day of the year today? And then it's the solstice. Is that what it is?
Days get longer after today is all. Yeah.
Days get longer.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Something to look
Everybody
forward
have a
to.
wonderful, wonderful Christmas, Hanukkah,
Yeah,
whatever you
stay
celebrate.
safe. Yeah.
Holidays are time to really just spend time with,
Yeah.
you. Be
And hey,
happy.
if you miss a live, then
Spread joy and
you
kindness.
can you can you can check it out later. You know, you can pause it. You can watch it when it doesn't interfere with your family time. So please go spend some time with your family, hug each other, love each other, pay attention to your thoughts. That's something I've really tried to make a point of doing lately. Instead of saying things like hate, which I've even used in the stream, use things like strongly dislike. I think those words really affect the way our we
How
feel
we
on the
think.
inside,
Mhm.
and how we treat our not just other people but ourselves. So just pay attention to that, not to get too spiritual on you, but that's something that I really do strongly feel. So,
Yep.
all right, we're heading off.
Spread
That's
joy
it.
and kindness, people.
Email us. Love ya.
See you next time.